Welcome to MalFramework tutorial number 23, and we're covering the FlyBy module. It's it's much easier than you think it is, but here's the instructions. The module spawns a friendly aircraft that performs a flyby along a designated path and then despawns it. Call the function in the activation field of a trigger. So if you look at the code, this is what the flyby is, or the vehicle. This is a plane. Mine will be different. It'll be that Choctaw helicopter. The starting position of the aircraft is, this is like the X or Y axis, and then that's the height. And you have the first waypoint, X and Y axis and height, and the second waypoint, X and Y axis and height. And Malvern's currently rewriting it to provide more waypoints or an infinite number of waypoints, but I can't remember if he was doing infinite or just a certain number. So go into the config SQF, and you would turn on ambient flyby module by turning it to true. So what I did for mine is my players spawn in these huts. So when they walk out of the hut, they walk right into this trigger that's activated by any player that's present. And this is the size of it, 5 by 50 with 5 of height. And here's the code. This is my Choctaw helicopter. Here's the starting position, first waypoint, second waypoint, and then the function that calls the script. Let's see what that looks like. Also, before we go on, you won't see a helicopter or anything, so it's not this helo right here. This helo is actually for this cinematic piece that I've deleted now, so it stops playing that cinematic piece every time. Anyway, when you do the flyby, everything is in here. You won't see a helicopter or a plane just sitting anywhere on the map. So anyways, let's get to it. Malvern's also rewriting it, not only to add more waypoints, but also to see if you can have like a custom skin or like a paint job, because on these Choctaws I have to change the default paint job to a SOG paint scheme, and right now it currently doesn't support that. Alright, if you remember, we spawned in the hut, and we're going to walk into this trigger, which spawns the aircraft from the south, as you can see right there. Ignore that aircraft, that one is something different. But this one is the flyby module. And you can see in the debug in the lower left, it says debug flyby is on its way. It's got that default marine skin. I want it to be the SOG skin. Anyway. So how do you get the the X and Y axis and the height? Well, that's very easy. We'll go back to the editor. So what I did was I spawned as RT Raleigh team leader. I walked out and ran up on top of this bunker. And as you saw, the helo spawned from the south, flew over, and then turned to the right or to head east. So if you go into the trigger, how did I get the starting position and the waypoints? Well, I just picked a random spot to the south. I right-click, and I say log position to clipboard. I open up a document, and there is the X and Y axis, and right now the height is 0, so I just manually change that to 50. So that would be the starting point. You could actually just have the trigger placed. I could just highlight this starting point. Oh yeah, I gotta copy paste this. And you see 104.18.5 and 1.3307. So I need to get, so it doesn't matter, well, right now it doesn't matter where this trigger is, but the helicopter is going to spawn somewhere down here. We'll say my first waypoint is going to be here, so I log position to clipboard. And I want to keep the height at 50. So I could just copy and paste that. Or you just come back over to this trigger and do it automatically. You know, it's the first waypoint. And then the ending, where it despawns out here, right click, go to log position to keyboard. You see, I don't have to put it on to a document first. I could just come in here and, even though it's going to be at 0, I change it to 50. Oh yeah, and you only need, there we go. It should be how it is. Let me make sure the brackets are, yep, double bracket at the end. Okay. So that is the aircraft will spawn somewhere to the south, fly north, and then turn to the east and fly east till it finally gets to that point and will despawn. And in this case, I don't know, you could put like blue 4 is present. We need to give it some kind of radius. So as soon as blue 4 stepped into this trigger zone, it would activate the trigger and the helo would spawn, fly up here, and then fly to the east. That's how you do a flyby. If you have any questions, ask me, ask Malvern, ask someone else that knows what they're doing. Thanks, bye.